What up, you beautiful MTG people? My name is Dan, this is MTG Tavern. I have an eyelash in my eye. Ugh, great timing. So today, let's turn the microphone the correct way. Today, I am playing some Experimental Frenzy in Modern, and it's more like we could make some kind of wordplay there, couldn't we, instead of Experimental Affinity? Like Affinity? No, forget it. I'm not even going to try and make that work. We're playing Experimental Affinity, so we're playing Experimental Frenzy. Most people who play Standard, I do not because I don't like Standard, but I do like a bit of Modern, which is kind of my thing. Right, so we're playing Experimental Frenzy, so you may look at the top card of your library at any time, and then you may cast or play the top card of your library, so that includes lands, and we can't play cards from our hand. Well, Affinity doesn't really care too much about that, because usually it's emptying its hand, certainly before we're getting to 4 mana, or spending 4 mana in one turn. And sure, it means we're going to draw a card for our turn, and we're going to lose potentially 1 card a turn. But that does mean, with Affinity and how we've set our deck up, that we're probably going to be able to cast most of our deck once Experimental Frenzy comes down. You could even make an argument that we might want to put a Grape Shot in here. The problem with a Grape Shot is that Grape Shot is going to be pretty useless until we draw an Experimental Frenzy. So it's kind of like, it's kind of, why play Grape Shot when you could just play something else, like a Mirror Enforcer, I guess, or something like that. So yeah, let's take a look at the deck. First of all, we've only got 14 lands. We need to reduce, we can play lands, but we want to reduce the amount of lands we draw because we kind of want to go off as soon as we play this. So we don't want to be having too many lands in our deck that we can hit with the Experimental Frenzy. So if we hit 1 per turn, even while looting for our library and playing everything, that's fine. But we want to leave it as long as possible till we draw that second land, or the second land is on top of our library. So we're only playing 14. To kind of make up for the lack of lands, we're playing 4 Mox Opals and 4 Springleaf Drums, the usual in Affinity. Now, the good thing about Mox Opal and it's not so much Springleaf Drum, but more Mox Opal is that it's 0 mana. You'll also notice that we have a lot of 0 mana artifacts in Memnite, Ornithopter, and Welding Jar. Again, the usuals for Affinity, nothing unusual there. Then we've got the usual Galvanic Blast, Signal Pests, Springleaf Drums, and we've got a couple of Bomat Couriers in here. I wanted to give them a try. It was either this or Arcbound Ravager. I guess Arcbound Ravager is a much better card so far as being able to go off with the board you have, but we are playing Mirror Enforcers and Frogmites because we're hoping to play out a lot of artifacts very cheaply, so when these are on top of our library, they may as well be 0 mana as well, whereas an Arcbound Ravager costs 2 mana, and if we're trying to go off of Experimental Frenzy, that's going to be like half of our mana probably for the turn. And sure, we can probably win from that 2 mana artifact spell, but we want to just flood the board and put as many things out as we can. And I think a Bomat Courier, when you're trying to loot through your library and get this Experimental Frenzy, I think probably playing the Bomat Courier early is worth more because we want to get to the Experimental Frenzy in this version of the deck. So get this down turn 1, swing in for a few turns, and then sacrifice to draw 2 or 3 cards. The Experimental Frenzy might be in there, and if it's not, well, that's still got Experimental Frenzy closer to the top. Also worth noting that if we have a land on top of our library, and we've already played a land for the turn, we can sacrifice the Bomat Courier to draw the land. Does that work? Yeah, it does. So then we would draw the cards from underneath the Bomat Courier, sure, and we can't play those, but it removes the land from the top of our library. Maybe we could play some kind of scrying artifact in here. I wonder if something like that exists. Maybe that would be better than Bomat Courier. Now, we'll just run with this one for now. Other than that, it's all kind of like a normal Affinity build. What your Vault Scourges, which are essentially 1 mana. Your Cranial Platings are 2 mana. And again, that's another reason why I didn't want to have an Arcbound Ravager. I went for Cranial Plating in the end because I wanted something that sticks on the board and we can just apply it to pretty much anything we have and it does something. Whereas an Arcbound Ravager, I don't know, maybe an Arcbound Ravager is better. I don't know. Right, going on to the sideboard, we've got some Blood Moons, some Giraport Aetherids, some Dismembers, Whip Flare, so this is all of our creature removal. There's quite a lot of creatures in Modern at the moment, whether it be using Graveyard or just casting from their hand. You think of Spirits, Humans, Dredge, there's a lot of creatures going around. Trollmoth's Crypt to deal with those kind of decks, and a Damping Sphere to deal with the Stormy and Tronny kind of decks. Blood Moon feels like kind of a non-bow with the Inkmoth Nexus and Blink Moths, but I guess it's not that bad. Like, we're not going to be bringing it in exactly against, like Burn. Well, no, we wouldn't be bringing it in against Burn. But like the matchups where it would be good, like against maybe Tron or something like that, or like Jund, then it does feel like a decent card to bring in, and we'll take the sacrifice of our lands. Right, let's go and play some games. So we're going Darksteel Citadel, Ornithopter, Signal Pest. Then turn to Vault Scourge. We then have 4 artifacts because Darksteel Citadel is an artifact. Frogmite into turn 3 Vault Scourge, Mirror Enforcer. Hopefully we're against something like Ponza with our Darksteel Citadel. So let's go Signal Pest. Go Ornithopter. Pass the turn. Maybe it was right to go... Oh, let's Celebrate Storm. Okay, not feeling so good right now. Okay, it's not really what we wanted. We're not going to get to play Mirror Enforcer next turn unless we draw a land. But, no, I should probably not do this. Yeah, sounds like a bad idea. Okay, let's get it for some damage. Yeah, double Signal Pest seems pretty good. Now, the downside of our hand here is that I really want to get down some of these Affinity creatures as quickly as possible, because if they have a Grape Shot and just wipe our board, even though they don't win on the spot, they probably do just win. Although we do have top decks, but with 1 land, we're not looking pretty good. 9! They have something! Okay. Ooh, a land, you say? Okay, well, Vault Scourge now. I'm going to play the Mirror Enforcer right now, just in case they do block. They might have a second Brawl in their hand, and they might feel like doing it anyway. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yay! Our hand is empty. Okay. So that's a whole lot of pressure on the board. I think my opponent is just dead next turn. One way or another, this is probably the last turn. It's just a question of, are we dead? Sleight of Hand, okay. There's a chance they're not dead next turn. By the way, casting Sleight of Hands with a Goblin Electromancer out is like... It's not necessarily a non-bow as such, but it's just like this doesn't reduce the cost of Sleight of Hand because it's 1 blue mana. Okay, so they're going to net mana off the Manamorphose. But I think this hand turned out okay, so my opponent, let's just say, blocks the Mirror Enforcer. Takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, my opponent's very dead if they don't have something right now. Holy crap, I might be the best Affinity player in the world. I don't think I'm over-exaggerating whatsoever. Okay, so what are we doing? Well, we're bringing in Tormod's Crypt. We're bringing in Damping Sphere. So what are we bringing out? What feels bad here? Well, Welding Jar doesn't seem great, because if they're going to kill our creatures, they're probably going to do it with a Grape Shot. They might have Lightning Bolts in their deck. They could have other stuff, so maybe... Until I know what this sideboard stuff is, I might just take the Welding Jars out. So I guess I want to bring out some 2-drops in place of the Damping Sphere. So we can maybe go down a... I guess it's only Cranial Platings, but I don't ever like that. Maybe we can actually go down an Experimental Frenzy here, because I don't think this is the matchup for it. Like, we'll leave a couple in, but it feels like 4 mana against Storm is... Like, we're hoping they don't have, like, a Spell Pierce. We're hoping they don't have any kind of counter spells. And then it's got to resolve. And sure, we can probably go off, but we're not necessarily going to win that turn, and we don't want to give them that turn. I think I'd rather just have these Damping Spheres in instead. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. So, well, we've got a Damping Sphere in hand, so that's a good start. 3 lands. So I guess this probably is a keep. We lead on Springleaf Drum turn 1 past my opponent. Turn 2... Vault Scourge, land into tap Vault Scourge, Damping Sphere. Into turn 3 Mirror Enforcer. That seems okay. Oh, I mean, if it wasn't for this Damping Sphere, I don't think this hand would be keepable. There's just too many mana sources in here, but... Well, that changes things. Okay. I do think I want to try and get in for as much damage as I can with the Bomat Courier. Because I think we're going to be able to empty our hand pretty quick here. The downside, actually, though, is we're not really going to be able to... Okay, there's the Electromancer. Now I think I have to play this Damping Sphere out next turn. I don't think I have a choice. Well, that is not a good top deck. I guess I can play Springleaf Drum into Damping Sphere. Okay, there's a Damping Sphere, so now it's... our opponent's got to play through that as well. It's not hard for them. They can return this to our hand or something like that. So it's not impossible for them to win through it. Okay, looks like our opponent's probably not doing anything. Hopefully they get in for 2. I'll say I'd definitely trade 2 points of life to get another card under this Bomat Courier. Right, can we empty our hand? So let's go... Let's play out the Ink Moth. I guess we can't because of the Damping Sphere. That kind of sucks. We can still definitely play out 2 cards, though. We know that much. Signal Pest, 6. So we'll be able to cast the Mirror Enforcer next turn. Ritual, okay. Don't really understand what's going on. Couldn't they have just paid for the gifts and given anyway? Yeah, they hadn't cast any spells this turn, so they didn't have to use the... Unless there's something I'm missing, they just wasted a card, unless they just wanted to get that into their graveyard. I don't see the benefit of that, but still. A thing in the ice in their graveyard. Okay, well you can have... I think we have to get rid of the Abraded Echoing Truth and just give them the thing in the ice. Yeah, I think we're just going to put these two in their graveyard and give them the ritual and the thing in the ice. A thingy in the ice, okay. Anything else? Sleight of hand, okay. So, something like a Galvanic Blast would be a very good top deck right now. Yeah, Blinkmoth Nexus probably isn't what we want. So we can attack with the Bomat Courier. If they do attack, block with the Goblin Electromancer, with them having 4 lands out, I'll probably just sacrifice the Bomat Courier. I think it's worth more than, with 2 cards underneath it, my opponent having 4 lands, I think it's worth more than killing a Goblin Electromancer out there. Cause essentially, they're just trying to get this thing in the ice going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if we animate the Blinkmoth Nexus. We can cast the Mirror Enforcer for 0. So let's do that, I guess. Okay, cast the Mirror Enforcer. We'll play out... I think we're going to play out Blinkmoth Nexus. Yeah, this is not a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. But we will see. Yeah, they will block with the thing in the ice. That's pretty good for us. So only 4 points of damage is worth noting. Right, is it worth it to sacrifice this now? Yeah, I think I'm going to sacrifice it now. Okay, that's not turned out terribly. Maybe I should have cast the Bomat Courier instead of the Mox Opal. I guess it doesn't really matter because we wouldn't be casting the Bomat Courier next turn anyway. Does this return all creatures or is it permanents when it flips? Or non-horror creatures, so it doesn't actually affect the Damping Sphere, which is a slight problem for us. Why isn't Vault Scourge a horror? Look at the fucking state of that thing. Dude looks like it's about to, like, bite your face off. It's pretty horrible to me. Okay. Oh, that's good. Animate here. Animate here. I really want to leave that Spring Relief Drum untapped. But I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'm holding back on the Bomat Courier for now. I just want to get in for as much points of damage as I can in the air. So I think our opponent pretty much has to block. Heretic Ritual, okay. I'm assuming they're going to try and flip the thing in the ice now. Okay, we're going to try and Galvanic Blast this now. If they have a counterspell, then so be it. That sucks, but it's the way it is. Oh, they can't have a counterspell. They have to pay all this mana. Holy shit, Damping Sphere came up pretty good here. Holy crap, that was a great top deck then, the Galvanic Blast. And the Damping Sphere just kind of wrecked him. And I guess they don't have to chum block. What is it? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, they can go down to 1. Right. You can cast your rituals, but unless you've got something... Yeah, like Past in Flames and a Braid are going to the graveyard. So this is going to cost them, what, 4 mana with the Goblin Electric? So that's all their lands. Yeah, so they can have the rituals, because the rituals are, like, not going to net them mana thanks to... I guess it does because of the Electromancer, but after the first one, it won't net them mana. Our opponent doesn't have to block. Let's see what they've got. They're down to exactly 1. There is a baby crying in the flat next door to me. Fuck's sake. Okay, ritual. Followed by. I don't... Unless I miss this, they need to get this off the field. Otherwise, I don't think they can win. I don't think it's possible. Into second ritual, so... Sure, they go up to 5 mana. Am I missing something here? So the next spell's going to cost an extra 2. Sleight of Hand, okay. Now they've got a total of 5 mana left, but the next spell's going to cost an extra 3. Yeah, we got there, sweet. Right, game 2, we're here. So, what have we got? Well, this hand has to be good, doesn't it? Again, only 1 land, but we only need 1 land. We need some coloured mana as well, but... turn 1, Blinkmoth, Memnite, Frogmite into turn 2, Vault Scourge, Frogmite, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5. So we need 2 more artifacts, but I like our chances of getting that. Yeah, I think we're going to keep this hand. Oh no, please don't have, like, Thoughtseize Inquisition. Okay. That's pretty good. That means a turn 1 Memnite. I mean, there's a very real chance our opponent will end up just Fatal Pushing this or something like that. Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage, and my opponent... Oh my god. They're using... They are definitely on Death Shadow. I mean, the unfortunate thing for us is if they do somehow get down a Death Shadow this turn, then, I mean, what do we do? So what can we do here? Oh, we could cast everything. Like, my opponent just concedes. We could have cast the Mirror Enforcer and the Vault Scourge. We could have been empty-handed. So these are the considerations for this matchup, I think. Probably Tormod's Crypt if we think we're on Grixis Death Shadow, then they don't play many basics, so Blood Moon could be very good against these guys. The downside is that that turns off our Ink Moth and Blink Moths, which could be very important, actually. Dismembers for Gurmag Anglers and Tassigers, and maybe a Death Shadow. And that's pretty much about it. Welding Jar in this matchup feels a lot better, because they have stuff like Colligan's Commands and Fatal Pushes, which are pretty much the only spells we really care about. Experimental Frenzy is going to be insane if that resolves. They can't get off the field more than likely, and that's like a lot of value right there. We definitely want some amounts of this. I don't know if we want all 3 Tormod's Crypts, because we might be sideboarding too much. I don't know what I want to take out here, because everything seems pretty good. Maybe we can trim a Springleaf Drum? If they are Grixis Death Shadow, they're definitely going to have Colligan's Command. Probably a 4 of as well. So maybe I'm not liking a Mirror Enforcer as much here, because it doesn't exactly block their creatures that well either. Like, it doesn't trade, other than a very weak Death Shadow, which they wouldn't block with anyway. They would just take the damage. Maybe we'll give up on the Blood Moon until after sideboarding, just to make sure we're definitely against Grixis, because we didn't see any red source of mana there, I don't think. Maybe we just want 1 Dismember rather than 2, so we can just take out 1 other card. Need to be quick. 1 Experimental Frenzy. Don't hate me, I had to make a decision quick. Did I have my screen this way in game 1? That kind of sucks. What have we got here? So, 1, 2, 3. Turn 2, play this. Is this a turn 2 Vault Scourge? Turn 2 Experimental Frenzy? 3, 4 mana, but we'd have to use 1 mana to Vault Scourge, so yeah, it wouldn't be. So if we can find a 0 mana creature off the top, we can definitely get a turn 2 Experimental Frenzy down. Our opponent's mulliganing, which is probably good. Wait, are they on the play? They are. Please no Thoughtseize, please no Thoughtseize, please no Thoughtseize. No Thoughtseize? Or is this an end step opt or something? Cranial Plating's okay. Right, let's play out a land, and we're going to start with Tormod's Crypt. Mox Opal! Oh wait, we can play out the... Oh, no, we do have a turn 2. Assuming this resolves. So we can just play this. So assuming our opponent doesn't have a Fatal Push or anything like that, we're looking pretty good. Okay, so looks like they're going down a Tassiger plan, but oh my god, if we can get this Experimental Frenzy down on turn 2 against a deck that doesn't deal with... Please, no hand... Like, Inquisition Codes are like, fine, we will give you our Cranial Plating. Please, no Thoughtseize. Please, no Thoughtseize. Please, no Thoughtseize. That's not a Thoughtseize. I don't care. I don't care. It's worth it. I don't care. You can have your Gurmag Angler. We're doing something better. Okay. So... Right, Experimental Frenzy. Go. Vanic Blast on top. Oh, I should use my... I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. With my opponent using Thought Scour, I should have exiled their graveyard in their upkeep. I shouldn't have done that. I should have also played Mox Opal before I... Oh, whatever. I made so many mistakes here. It's unbelievable. Make sure I stop on my own upkeep, not there, so I can use this Galvanic Blast. Okay, I'm not that bothered about that. I'm more bothered about the fact that I even let them get this Gurmag Angler out. That feels disgusting. I feel like I should have won this game so easily. Okay, I'm not going to use this Tormod's Crypt just yet, because they can't actually use it for anything. Right, so... Galvanic Blast, I assume we just have to go to their face, don't we? Because we don't want to draw that for our turn. We definitely want to... Well, we have to draw this. We don't really have a choice. We have to pay 1. Okay. Cast this. Cast this. Do I just wait? I think I'm just going to go to the upkeep and then try and use this Galvanic Blast then. I'm going to stop. I'm also going to use a Tormod's Crypt on the upkeep. The reason I'm going to use it on their upkeep is because if they're going to counter it, I want them to use their mana on their next turn. So we might as well wait until their upkeep to do this. Obviously, if they try and kill our Frogmite... Okay, we're going to see what they target. I assume they're going to target Lightning Bolt. Okay, we're going to let them cast the Lightning Bolt, then we're going to kill them with Galvanic Blast. In fact, no, I'm not even going to let that result, because they might not even use it. Because they tapped their blue mana, now we don't have to worry about a counter spell. So I think that was a misplay from our opponent as well, so misplays all around this game. So we could have just let them cast Lightning Bolt first, but they tapped their blue mana, so why would I just, because they might not use their blue mana. Once we pass priority, if they decide not to cast it, we go straight to their turn and they get their blue mana back. So why would I take that slight risk where there's nothing they can possibly cast that's going to allow them to gain life or counter the Galvanic Blast? So Experimental Frenzy came, in huge there, even through me misplaying hugely. I don't know what this deck needs, but it feels like it does need something. I don't know what, though. And it feels great having these in, like, Affinity for artifact spells, but maybe you could use something like a Goblin Bushwhacker, because you're easily going to be able to cast, like, these 0 mana spells to, like, pump your entire team. Maybe it does need something like that. And I think I'd like to bring out a Cranial Plating, maybe even 2. You know what, let's just take out all the Cranial Platings and bring in these instead. I think these are going to synergize a bit better, because we're just kind of, like, we're hoping to just flood the board early. Anything else in our sideboard we might want to bring in? Since we're going down that route, I might bring in the Dismembers, or at least one Dismember, over a Welding Jar. Let's go with something like that. Our main game plan is to obviously get all of these things down. Then we want to follow up with kind of a Reckless Bushwhacker route, where we're going to hopefully flood the board with a whole bunch of small creatures, cast a 0-drop, maybe a 1-drop, cast our Reckless Bushwhacker, get in for a huge chunk of damage. Or we can go down the Frogmite and Mirror Enforcer route, or we've got the Experimental Frenzy. How the hell do we have that many lands in a 14 land deck? Keep Blast on the bottom. Yeah, we don't have the red mana. That kind of sucks. It's a card that you usually do one of these kind of... Okay, what are we against? Okay, Amulet Titan. Cast this. We're probably going to be dead pretty quick here, though. Cast this. Cast this. Cast this. Cast this. Okay, this is a pretty good hand. Okay, go ahead. We're going to get Blood Moon after sideboarding, which is pretty good. Holy shit! How much damage is this? What is that? What the f- I just accidentally got to... What just happened? That was on the draw as well. What the fuck? Okay, Blood Moons are coming in for sure. Oh, yeah, definitely bringing in Damping Spheres. That's for sure. So what... We probably just take out the Experimental Frenzies in this instance, because we're bringing in these Damping Spheres, which we have to stop them producing so much mana. Probably keeping one, just as like a nice little top deck, maybe. Probably bring in a Dismember as well, actually. So a Mirror Enforcer, and... You know what, let's get rid of the Experimental Frenzies altogether. Okay. This hand has to be a keep, doesn't it? This, like... Yeah, if we just hit one land off the top, we can empty all but one card in our hand on turn 1. That's actually pretty good for them to gain 2 life. An Amulet, okay. That's not so good for us. Do I hold back a 0-drop here then, because we drew the Reckless Bushwhacker? I think we probably do. So let's Signal Pest, Ornithopter, Ornithopter, and we'll hold back the Memnite, I think. Yeah, okay. We'll give it 1 turn. Okay, it's good for our opponent. Another Galvanic Blast is not so good for us. Okay, let's get in with everybody. Volt Scourge and pass to our opponent. So yeah, we're just going to keep holding this Memnite back until we can draw a second land or something like that. It's got 4 mana to play with. Assuming no Azusa, that is. If they have Azusa, then they're going to have the further... They're not going to be able to Primeval Titan this turn, I don't think, unless they've got a second Amulet. Okay, Azusa. At least we can kill Azusa, though. That's the good thing for us. With a Galvanic Blast. Yes, that's going to be a total of 5 mana. Like, they got a Thragtusk or something like that. Thragtusk would be kind of annoying. That's even more annoying. Weirdly enough, it doesn't kill all of our creatures. That was pretty fortunate for us, I guess. Right, so let's Galvanic Blast this old girl right here. Cast this. I think we just have to cast this now. Okay, yeah, there's no point attacking. So we've kind of not seen any sideboard hate, and we've not seen any more lands. A second Azusa. Jesus Christ, man. Man, opponent like kind of drawing the dreams over there. Like Fire Spell or something like that again. Ancient Stirring's okay. Another Amulet. Okay, thank God we have the second Galvanic Blast in our hand. Yeah, so our opponent's going to have a total of 5 mana again. But we need to find a Blood Moon, like, right now. But then again, we also need mana to Rex Sage to kill... Well, there's a Blood Moon, now we just need lands. Unfortunately, we're not drawing anything like that. So... This might seem kind of odd, but I'm actually going to... not use the Galvanic Blast straight away. Okay, because if my opponent has like a Spell Pierce in hand, I can't pay for it. Right, so they're going to get to play that anyway, but I'm going to Galvanic Blast the Zeus now, because it might be that they played this land, and they might have played a different land because they thought Zeus might be alive, but I think I'm trying to be too tricky there. If my opponent had Spell Pierce in hand, then we couldn't pay for it. But they've got the prime time anyway. Okay, we're done. Yeah, my opponent got like a Dream Draw, and we just didn't draw anything, so... So there you guys. I don't think I can really complain after game 1, to be honest. Right, yeah, we're just going to stick with this. That was fine. Yeah, we're keeping this, I think. Right, so let's go Blink Moth, Mox, Pass. Then, yeah, next time we can land Damping Sphere. I think I'm just going to cast this for now instead. Yeah, I'm going to go with something like that. Okay, Ancient Stirrings. Again, not too sure this card should still be legal in Modern, when it's just like, almost every deck that's near the top of the minute is playing, like, and it has been for like the last year as well, is playing, oh, that's a really good card for our opponent. Okay, Simic Growth Chamber, and now is a really good time for us to be playing the Damping Sphere, because now they can't tap that for mana, double mana. Galvanic Blast is really good as well. Okay, let's attack first. Okay, so Damping Sphere should be okay against them for a while. And I can't cast anything else this turn. 1, 2, 3... Just 3 artifacts out of the minute? That kind of blows. Okay. Do I just Galvanic? I think there's better targets than this thing. Okay, an Amulet. Sure. Well, that is actually fine by me. Okay, now, just because I want to use my mana, I just want to use this to kill this on end step. So they have to put a land into play now. Just because next turn I might be able to get to cast more stuff. Okay, they're going to put Radiant Fountain in, sure. Wow, that did not work out great for our opponent. We've got the second Damping Sphere in our hand. That was also a good draw for us. Okay, so let's go ahead and attack now. Right, so I think we have to play the Damping Sphere out, though. That's the problem. I don't think we really have a choice in the matter. And this is going to cost 2, but we've only got 1. Blah. That's disgusting. Okay. Well, hopefully our opponent can't just go off now. A Blood Moon would be a good top deck. I mean, okay, so that's going to buy us a turn. If our opponent does play a Walking Blister, do we even sacrifice a Spoomak Courier? I think if we can get our hand emptied here, it might be a good idea. Man, that Welding Jar does not feel good. Okay. I think we need to get these creatures onto the battlefield, because like we're not ending the game at the minute. Right, so how much is this? Is it free? Cost 1 mana. Okay. And presumably this is going to cost a lot more. It is. Okay. This is going to cost, what, 1? Okay, let's do that. Let's get the Welding Jar out there. This is slow progress. It's probably what... These Damping Spheres don't feel great. I think these would just be better as Blood Moons. Okay, so that's our opponent's land drop for the turn. Presumably they have Primeval Titan. And realistically, we are just dead. Wait, are there any... What does this do? Yeah, Vigilance Haste. They don't have the way of giving it double strike, so... Yeah, we'll just take 8. They must have the other land in their hand or something. Walking Ballista for 1, okay. Right, so the minute this is costing how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but plus 2. I think I would much rather just draw some more cards, and cause like this mirror is not going to help us survive next turn. If 1 wasn't going to do it, the second definitely won't. Right, I think we're just dead. Yeah, it feels like we're just dead. Our draws on the play weren't the best, and I think Damping Sphere might be actually quite bad in certain matchups here. Like, it's great against stuff like Storm, but it feels like I've made a mistake here by bringing Damping Spheres in this matchup, because we were never able to deploy our hand because of Damping Sphere. You could argue that our opponent would have been able to Primeval Titan earlier, but I think, like, let's just say they couldn't have Primeval Titan that early, then we were never really able to get any pressure on the board, and like you saw in game 1 that the deck can win pretty fast. So I think, lesson learned, don't do dumb shit like that again. There's no way we're not keeping this. We can even cast Experimental Energy on turn 2 on the play. Holy shit. Please don't have Thoughtseize. Please don't have Thoughtseize. That's all we ask. No Thoughtseize, and we are fine. Right, so we're going to start with a Mountain into Springleaf Drum, into Ornithopter, into Mox Opal, and we have a Galvanic Blast for next turn. For this turn, if they cast like an Inquisition or Kozilek, we can Galvanic Blast them. I'm interested. Okay. I guess if we're going to be casting Experimental Frenzy next turn, I should just Galvanic Blast them now. I'm slowly starting to learn. Very slowly, but slowly nonetheless. Oh, that's going to be a waste. Okay, let's cast this. Hope for some 0 drops or lands. Oh no, we've already hit lands, haven't we? Off the top. So turn to Experimental Frenzy. I guess if I'm going to have a creature on top, I'd rather it be that one where I want it to be second from top anyway. So what is my opponent playing? Oh, they're playing 8-rack. Okay, well now we can just keep drawing cards for our turn, can't we? That is a lot of damage coming at us. Black-red 8-rack. Well, okay. The race is most definitely on. Hoping our top... Yeah, this deck needs refining quite a bit. I think we're getting quite unlucky. Like, you think about... Let's look at the deck here. Like, I think we're getting a bit unlucky, but, like, there are exactly... If you don't count the 1 Experimental Frenzy on the field and the 1 Reckless Bushwhacker on top, there are exactly... And the Dismember in our hand, there are exactly 1, 2, 3... There's 5 cards out of our 50. So, like, 1 in 10 are cards that we just don't... Oh, it's a Waste Not deck. Okay, well, let's cast that. Cast a Signal Pest. A Volt Scourge would be very good right now. Play a land. Ask and ye shall receive. Do I take the 2 life here? It's got to be worth it, hasn't it? Another... Jesus Christ. We might as well use this one instead. And that's our Blink Moth for the turn. Okay, so let's get in for some damage. Yeah, if my opponent can't remove this Volt Scourge, that's going to gain us a lot of life next turn. This is the problem, though, this card right here. So the minute they would just draw cards and get zombies. Yeah, Ghost Quarter's pretty good for them. Although it's only really taking out our Mountain. If they want to take out our Mountain, that's fine by me. It means we get to shuffle away the Blink Moth Nexus from the top of our library. My opponent's potentially dead next turn, by the way. 1, 2, 3 Signal Pest, so it's pumping everything 3 times and itself 2 times, essentially. I would probably be targeting this Volt Scourge right now, not the Signal Pest. Oh, I had 4 Signal Pests out, so it's pumping each other 4 times. Yeah, my opponent was definitely dead next turn. Again, I would be taking out the Volt Scourge, not the Signal Pest. Although saying that the Signal Pest can kill them. We take no damage. Sounds good. Okay, so if we attack... so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I've got the math right there. Oh, sorry, it's 9, sorry. 10. Okay, whatever. We're up to 15. We've got loads of cards in hand. That could be a good or bad thing, though, because if our opponent having Waste Not, that's might be a bad thing. I'm not going to cast Experimental Frenzy. I'd rather draw that for my turn. Okay, so... Unless we discard an art... Well, we don't have an artifact card, unfortunately. Our Affinity deck with 4 cards in hand doesn't have an artifact card. So we have to discard 2 cards. And I think I just want to give them the zombies. Although I can only give them 1 zombie. So, land and creature. Okay, we don't want to let them get mana, because the mana, they could use the rest of the cards in their hand. Wait, what? Oh, it was land... Oh my god, I'm so dumb. I should... That's the one thing I didn't want to give them is mana. A non-creature, non-land spell. Okay, so hopefully these last 2 mana don't matter. Okay, that's fine. Each player loses 1 life, discards a card, sacrifices a creature, sacrifices a land. So I will discard the Dismember. I will I guess we'll sacrifice the Ornithopter. My opponent's still dead next turn, though, it's worth noting. This doesn't make any... They're dead even if they will sacrifice their Darksteel. So, like, they've got 1 mana to play with. Except maybe 2 if they get rid of their own Blood Crypt with the Ghost Quarter. I mean, they're just... Even if they get rid of the Signal Pest, they're just dead to the 2 creatures. So, yeah. Experimental Frenzy. That went pretty well. Is there anything we actually want here? I guess the extra Welding Jar might come in handy. They've got a lot of single target removal. Tormod's Crypt might not be bad because they have ways of recasting Raven's Crime from their graveyard, but I don't think it's worth any other cards in my deck. Blood Moon doesn't seem that good. I'm assuming being a Rakdos deck, they're gonna have quite a few swamps, so probably not that many. Let's consider those. It's got to be better than Dismember, where they have not many creatures. And the only creatures they're probably going to produce are the 2/2 zombies. We can get rid of a Frenzy, although that does feel really good in this matchup, actually. Maybe not. One other card. Man, Bomat Courier feels great in this matchup. Jesus Christ, can you imagine like drawing like 4 or 5 cards from a Bomat Courier, even if you've got an Experimental Frenzy out against that deck? Probably a Bushwhacker, although saying that, yeah, we'll go down a Bushwhacker. Okay. Because we're probably going to get constrained on mana anyway, so we don't want to have too many of these. Saying that, we draw one for the turn. Okay, I think this hand is okay. I don't think it's amazing, but it should be okay. Interesting, our opponent went on the play. Usually these 8-rack decks want to go on the draw, because then they get more cards in hand. There's the Raven's Crime. Tap Mox Opal for Frogmite. Okay, so yeah, we're probably not getting rid of these 0-mana ones. Maybe it's just got to be the Bushwhacker, and hope we get there. I guess another argument could have been... Yeah, because we need to run a second spell now for the Reckless Bushwhacker. If we're going to just put this Frogmite out turn 1. Okay, there's now wish we would have got rid of a land. Inkmoth Nexus into Signal Pest, into Welding Jar, into... not Frogmite, into Mox Opal, cast a Frogmite, and that's our turn done. 2 lands in hand, so a Thoughtseize will be no good. Okay, Raven's Crime, sure, we'll get rid of... I'm going to get rid of the Darksteel Citadel because I want to keep the mountain. Wait, is our opponent's... Okay, they got a land, cool. Interesting. It's like a Tasigur or something? Oh, Raven's Crime, okay. So Experimental Frenzy feels quite far off. I think I'm going to play the Blink Moth, but I'm just going to animate this one first to make sure I don't make any mistakes. We're going to play the land. Just because my opponent's got this Raven's Crime in their graveyard, so we're probably going to have to discard it at some point anyway. I think we're just in a racing situation already. So another land off the top wouldn't be the worst, because then we can animate both of our Blink Moths and attack, and have them dead in a couple of turns, potentially. And with the Welding Jar's backup, that's not bad. Shrieking Affliction. Okay, so we're going to lose a lot of life from that. And the rack. Okay. So we're kind of all in on our Inkmoth Nexuses right now, although that's going to help us quite a bit. Although, can we even play it? 3-6 a turn, so... we assume we're losing 6 a turn. That puts us at most on a 3-turn clock. If we cast this turn, we take 6 next upkeep. We gain 2 life, up to 10. We lose 6 down to 4. We gain another 2 up to 6. So it doesn't make any difference to the clock. So I think it's probably just better to keep this in our hand and hope they didn't have hand disruption. It's also worth noting we have to take 2 damage to do this. Ugh. So yeah, next turn we take 6 down to 8. Or if we pay for this, it's down to 6. So no, we can't. There's no way. There's no way we can afford to pay the 2 life for this. We're going to hope our opponent doesn't have hand disruption. Also worth noting, if they go for the Ghost Quarter on one of our Inkmoths, we can Mox Opal the Inkmoth to animate it into an artifact and then regenerate it with Welding Jar. Yeah, Raven's Crime, sure. I think a land off the top puts us ahead in the race. It depends on how they're going to use this Ghost Quarter. They probably shouldn't use it right now. Yeah, a land allows us to animate both Inkmoths and get in for a total of 8 infect, meaning that 1 Inkmoth. Yeah, we only need to attack with both Inkmoths for 1 turn, assuming no removal spells in their hand. This is going to be very, very, very close. Shit, how I need to keep track of which one's actually live. Okay, animate this using the Mox Opal. Play a land. And I think... Is it the one underneath that's live? Okay, let's get in for all the infect damage. My opponent probably shouldn't have let this resolve. Because now just 1 Inkmoth Nexus is lethal next turn. Assuming no Signal Pest on the field. Assuming Signal Pest also survives as well. So our opponent needs to make us lose 2 life, or playing another rack or Shrieking Affliction will do it as well, it's worth noting. So they have got quite a few outs, probably. Wow, we got there! Jeez. Yes, I think the outs there, like another rack kills us, a Collective Brutality also kills us because they would drain us for 2, we lose 6 on upkeep. No, it feels like we've just got too many payoffs and not enough actual setting up for the payoff. Yeah, this just seems really weak. Sure, let's hope for a good scry. I'll definitely keep a land on top. Okay, cast this, and over to my opponent. Unfortunately, we don't really have much else going on. Okay, Desperate Ritual. Into Desperate Ritual. Okay. Into Koth. Okay, please animate a land. That's correct, so animate that one. And my opponent put a lot of effort into getting that Koth on the field. And like, this adds like 1 mana for each mountain, which is like, at the minute 1 mountain, but maybe as much as 2. Now, if this Experimental Frenzy sticks, we're in good shape. Our opponent's in a lot of trouble. Now, they do have stuff like Stormbreath Dragon, but they're a little way off casting that right now. Yep. Probably should have done it with this one, but okay. Depends if they want to attack, I guess. Yeah, probably not my opponent's best idea ever. That kind of blows. Okay, let's attack Koth again. Okay, well that kind of blows, but it is what it is. So our opponent might be able to play something like a Chandra next turn, which would be a bit of a problem for us. Yeah, Chandra, sure. I guess taking up for mana would be a problem for us as well. Okay, exile the top card. It is a Magus of the Moon. That would have actually been pretty good for him here. 0 mana artifact. I will take it. Thank you very much. Okay, so float a red. Cast a Mox Opal. Keep this Mox Opal. Float yeah, use another red. And Surge a Bushwhacker. Okay, are we going to kill Chandra? I guess we can't kill Chandra, but we can kill Koth and put Chandra to just... Wait, this is going to Koth, yeah, so yeah, Chandra at Chandra, put Chandra down to 1. Now the downside of that is we are now down to 3 mana again, so we don't get to play the Experimental Frenzy, but is it going to be anything bad? Chalice, okay, we can deal with a Chalice, I think. Please don't play Chalice on 0, please play it on 2. Please play it on 2, please think that we've got a load of 2-drops in our deck. They're not going to use it, what have they got in their hand? Oh shit, no, that's really bad for us. We've got loads of like 0 and 1 drops. Okay. We're gonna have to like net lose mana to cast this. Okay. So we're still in the position where we can't do anything. Jesus Christ, can we please just draw something we can use? You know, I'm just going everything at Chandra here. Yeah, everything at Chandra, just in case there's a lightning bolt in their hand. Yeah, unfortunately we don't have enough. Yeah, we really need to like start drawing lands. Also, a second. Oh my god, that's a really bad draw for them. Volt Scourge. Sure, we can cast that. Okay, get in. That's not a bad time to see that. That's fine. How much is this? Is this free? Oh, it's going to cost 3 mana. Ugh, okay. So then we get, next turn, Experimental Frenzy down, although Experimental Frenzy isn't actually going to be that good against the Trinisphere. Oh my god, can you imagine if my opponent top decks an Ensnaring Bridge? Okay, I land. Okay, so they're on a 2-turn clock. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 2-turn clock. Okay, in for these points of damage. Okay, so an Ensnaring Bridge is the only thing they can draw to save them now. No, you gotta be kidding me! You got to be kidding me! It's just really stop on our upkeep. I just can't believe it. Like, top deck of the century. No, I'm gonna draw it. Okay, it's fine. We can. Okay, Magus the Moon, fine. Okay. Right, we have to. I don't care about drawing the Ornithopter, whatever, Experimental Frenzy, whatever. We can blow up our own Experimental Frenzy and then Galvanic Blast next turn. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, please nothing we really are scared of. Okay. That's fine. Do you want to attack, bitch? Boom! Okay, we probably want these welding jars. We don't want Tormod's Crypt, we don't want Whitflare, we don't want Damping Sphere. Oh, Girapol we definitely wanted there, having Ensnaring Bridges out. Get rid of Dismember, although they might have stuff like Storm Breath Dragon, it's worth noting. Yeah, these Frenzies feel really bad. I'll keep one in, but God, do they ever feel really bad in this matchup. Like, with Trinispheres out, and they're probably going to play Chalice on, like, 0 and 1. I think I'm going to keep this hand, even though we've only got 1 land. Hopefully they're still playing Blood Moons. Something like a Mountain would be a great draw right now. Even a Mox Opal will do. Okay, well, look, Galvanic Blasts aren't great. But at least it's something we can use later on. If we can just chip in for, like, enough damage, then it will be good enough. Let's cast the Ornithopter and then pass to our opponent. Yeah, we just need, like, mana for our Girapol Aether Grid and we might be okay. Okay, second Boomat Courier. That's, like, the worst thing ever. Why are you even playing Sweltering Suns? I guess it's, like, you can cycle it, but, like, surely Anger of the Gods is better in the format right now. Yeah, so that was really good for our opponent, and yeah, let's go on. We'll give it one more turn. We'll give it the college try. Okay. I wonder what these cards were. I can almost guarantee they're all going to be like lands or something like that. Okay, Chandra. Okay, looks like our opponent got a crazy good draw. Surprised they didn't just kill these Volt Scourge there. There's a Mountain. Guess we have to attack Chandra. I really don't want to use this to just deal 2 points of damage to Chandra. That feels bad. I think I'd rather just wait. Okay. And it's Mountain. Okay, that's good for us. What else have they got? Because if we can get down just one more artifact, we can animate the Inkmoth Nexus with itself so it can float the mana, activate it. Okay, Snaring Bridge is okay. We've got a hand that can deal with Ensnaring Bridge. Ritual into Simian Spirit Guide. Okay, that's fine. Right, so we can put Chandra down to 3, animate Blinkmoth. Yeah, I guess I should probably just do that. Okay, put Chandra down to 3. A good top deck. Yeah, swing at Chandra. Use this on Chandra. Kill Chandra. Not the best feeling in the world, but it'll do. Problem is our opponent, we're not going to be able to attack our opponent anymore. We just have to use 2 Galvanic Blasts to kill a Chandra. We still have this Gear Aether Grid in our hand, but we need to find mana, and we're just not finding it. Okay, that's cool. I can deal with that. That's okay. Since they've got the Ensnaring Bridge out, so be it. Land? I'll take it, okay. Trinisphere's fine. Memnite is not. Okay, my opponent like getting the Dream draw, the Dream, 2 Sweltering Suns, which aren't even a very good card in the format right now. Yeah, worked out great for them. So what have we got here? 3 into Simian Spirit Guide. Okay. Wow. I mean, it's gonna happen, like, you know, with the Trins, but like we just need a land. A land will do it. I'm done. I mean, to be fair, there's only 14 lands in the deck, so I shouldn't complain too much. Let's just go ahead and run it back. Sweltering Suns, like I say, I think it's a bad card in Modern right now. The only advantage to it over Anger of the Gods is you get to cycle, which I guess for some decks is relevant. But with Dredge and like all these graveyard decks being around, I don't think it's worth that much. Okay, we'll go with something like this. Still need a red source of mana for the Reckless Bushwhacker, but it's not looking terrible. Yeah, we can put that on top, I think. So, Citadel, Thopter, pass. This would actually be a matchup where it would have been good for us to be on the draw. Well, not this matchup, but like with that, what's on top of our deck. Chalice on 0. Okay, that's fine. They've got Chalice on 1 as well. Oh, 2 Simian Spirit Guides. 3, oh, no, just 2 Simian Spirit Guides. Snaring Bridge. Magus of the Moon. Okay, that's fine. In fact, that's helped us out quite a lot, thank you. That's a lot of cards to use to put a Magus of the Moon down. This is still an artifact, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So Springleaf Drum. One of them ones. Do I keep this back? Oh, there's no need to, is there? Okay. I was going to say, should I keep it back for the Reckless Bushwhacker, but probably no need. See if my opponent wants to trade here. We could run into a problem if they have Sweltering Suns. If they not have if they attack, I assume they have Sweltering Suns. They do not. Okay. Mirror Enforcer. Can we cast it? 1, 2. We can. How much mana do we have to pay? 2. Okay, let's attack first. No, we should probably cast this first. Oh, well, we can put both out? Shit. I like that. Ensnaring Bridge is the worry now. Post getting in for 2. I will not be blocking. If they have Sweltering Suns, then good for them. If they have Sweltering Suns, they are just dead, though, because we have 2 4/4s on the field. Deal. Anything else? I would feel sorry for my opponent, but you know what? You want to play a prison deck? Don't be surprised when prison decks play badly.